I want to talk to you today about one of the most misunderstood issues in America and one of the most ignored: homelessness. Most people experiencing homelessness didn't fail, the system failed them. Hello, Oklahoma. Troy Green here, candidate for U.S. Senate. I know this because I've lived closer to the edge than most politicians ever will. I've been homeless twice in my life, and my only sins were aging out of the foster system and a combination of job loss and divorce. I know what it feels like to be one emergency, one job loss, or one medical bill away from losing everything. That's why I wrote the Unhoused Protection and Housing Stability Act, because homelessness isn't about laziness, it's about instability. And instability is created by policy choice. Right now, we spend billions reacting to homelessness after it happens in our emergency rooms, jails, and on police calls, all temporary fixes. But we don't invest nearly enough in preventing homelessness in the first place. Instead, we criminalize survival, we ignore warning signs, and we allow housing to be treated like a financial asset instead of a basic human need. That approach doesn't work. It never has, and it costs more in the long run. The Unhoused Protection and Housing Stability Act focuses on solutions that actually work, with policies that prevent homelessness before it starts. The cheapest form of housing assistance is actually keeping people housed. This bill provides eviction prevention, emergency rental assistance, legal support for tenants, and crisis intervention for families on the edge. Once someone loses housing, recovery becomes harder and far more expensive. Now, before you start screaming about your tax dollars, hear me out. I pay taxes too, so I understand your concerns. But did you know that chronically homeless persons cost taxpayers on average $38,000 a year per person? This is the cost for all those police calls, trips to the ER, and time in jail. One study highlighted an individual whose verifiable public system cost was $160,000 in a single year, mostly ER visits and jail-type interactions. In Oklahoma City, permanent supportive housing units cost about $10,000 per year, including wraparound services, and is up to 20% less than keeping people in homeless shelters. This act also builds housing people can actually afford, not luxury units and not investor properties. This bill funds affordable housing construction, supports community-based land trust, and incentivizes starter homes, repairs aging housing stock, and invests in rural and small town housing. Housing should be lived in, not hoarded. It also protects people who are already unhoused by expanding emergency shelters, transitional housing, outreach teams, and mental health and addiction services. It treats unhoused persons as a neighbor, not a nuisance. This bill also takes on Wall Street housing speculation by cracking down on corporations that bulk buy single family homes, driving up rents and hollowing out neighborhoods. When Wall Street buys entire blocks, families lose and communities break. Housing should build stability, not extract profit. Now let's talk about the question everyone wants to know. How do we pay for it? We pay for it by fixing what's broken at the top. Funding comes from fees and penalties on corporate bulk buyers, closing real estate tax loopholes used by mega landlords, fines for predatory housing practices, redirecting unused housing funds that already exist, and by cutting administrative waste so money goes to housing, not bureaucracy. We already pay the price for homelessness. We just pay it in the most expensive, least effective way possible. This bill saves money by investing earlier and investing smarter. The Unhoused Protection and Housing Stability Act is about dignity. It's about stability, and it's about common sense. No one should lose everything because of one bad month. No child should grow up without a stable home. And no community should be hollowed out by corporate greed. I'm Troy Green. I have lived this reality, and if I serve in the United States Senate, I'll fight for housing policies that treat people like human beings, not problems to be pushed out of sight.